Mastering Verb Patterns in English. Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to learn about verb patterns, when to use gerunds and when to use infinitives in English. This lesson is designed for B1, B2 learners. If you're not sure about your level, there is a free level test in the description. You can take it before starting. And if you prefer to watch this lesson with explanation in Spanish, there is a link in the description for that too. Before we start, here's what we're going to learn in this lesson. First of all, the four main verb patterns. Later we will talk about adjective plus preposition plus gerund constructions. We will also mention the verb suggest, which is a special case, and at the end we will talk about the verbs which change their meaning using different verb patterns, like real chameleons. What are verb patterns? Verb patterns are structures where two verbs appear together, but the form of the second verb depends on the first one. In English, there are four main verb patterns you need to know. The first one, verb plus to infinitive. For example, I want to go. The second one, verb plus a gerund, the ing form. For example, enjoy reading. Number 3, verb plus an object and plus a bare infinitive or to infinitive. For example, help us to move or help us move. And the last one, modal verbs plus a bare infinitive. For example, can swim, will do, would go, etc. So let's start with the main verb patterns, and the first one is verb plus to infinitive. Use the to infinitive after verbs like want, need, decide, plan, hope, promise, expect, learn, offer, agree, and forget. Don't worry, there is no need to memorize all of these verbs at once. You can download a free PDF with a table of all of the verb patterns. The link is in the description. You may start memorizing the three verbs want, need, and decide. And examples. I want to learn Spanish. I need to do something. She decided to stay home. We hope to travel next summer. She agreed to wait for me. They promised to help us. Number 2, and this time a verb plus a gerund or an ing form. We use this pattern with the verbs which express our preferences, like enjoy, like, love, and hate. Remember, there is no need memorizing all of them at the same time. There is a free PDF file that you can download with all of the verb patterns. Now let's have a look at the examples. I enjoy reading books in English. She finished cleaning the house. He admitted making a mistake. They avoided talking about the problem. I don't mind waiting. She suggested going to the park. And the third structure, or the third pattern, verb plus an object plus an infinitive. In this case, it can be a bare infinitive or a to infinitive. The first structure will be verb plus object plus to infinitive. As you might already know, some verbs take an object before the second verb with to. Verbs like advise, allow, ask, etc. And the examples are, she advised me to study more. They invited us to join them. He reminded me to call my mother. The teacher taught us to swim. I want you to listen carefully. And the next structure is verb plus object and a bare infinitive. There are three verbs that take an object followed by the bare infinitive without to, and these verbs are let, make, and help. And the examples are, she let me leave early. He made me apologize. They helped us move the furniture, or they helped us to move the furniture. Note, the verb help can also be followed by to plus infinitive. They helped us to move the furniture. Other verbs follow this pattern too, like the verbs see, hear, feel, watch, and notice. But if you use a bare infinitive, you are talking about a whole action. For example, I saw him cross the street from the beginning to the end. Start and finish. Yeah, you saw the whole process. Now, we heard her sing a song, entire song. We heard the entire song. Now, if you use these verbs with an ing form, you are talking about an action in progress. For example, I saw him crossing the street. So it was in the middle of crossing the street. We are not sure where exactly you saw him, and it's not important to see the whole action. We heard her singing a song, something in progress. Yes, she was singing a song and we heard her. It's not important to hear the whole song. Now, when we talk about the fourth verb pattern, we talk about modal verbs. And as you might already know, the rule is you have to use a bare infinitive with modal verbs. It means that there is no particle to between the modal verb and the verb. So, with modal verbs like can, should, must, might, may, could, we always use the bare infinitive. For example, I can swim, you should study harder, they must leave now, he might come later. But there is one modal verb which doesn't follow this rule. And this verb is, write in the comments if you remember what verb doesn't follow these rules. Now let's talk about the structure adjective plus preposition plus a gerund. Sometimes it's not a verb but an adjective plus preposition combination followed by a gerund. And the common ones are interested in, excited about, worried about, etc. How do you remember? How do you know which preposition to use? Well, learning by heart one by one, all of them, because there is no exact rule which preposition to use with one or another adjective. There are different techniques how to memorize things. In this case, you can group these adjectives by a preposition they're used with, or by topics, or by emotions. You can also group them according to whether it is a positive or a negative adjective. So just be creative and try to learn them one by one. And now the examples. He is interested in learning new languages. I'm excited about traveling to Italy. She's worried about passing the exam. He's good at playing chess. They're afraid of flying. I'm tired of waiting. She's passionate about helping others. He's used to getting up early. She is addicted to watching TV series. Now the verb suggest. It's a special case and now you will see why. The sentence, she suggested me to stay is wrong because we cannot use a direct object here. What you can do is to say, she suggested staying. You use a gerund. Now here are the correct options. The first one, I suggest going to the cinema. You use a gerund after the verb suggest, and that will be perfect. Don't use any objects. Now, the second option is to use that clause. I suggest that she stay at home. Can you see something strange in the sentence? Well, actually, the verb stay doesn't carry the letter S. It should be with the letter S because it's the third person singular. She stays at home. But no, it's the form of the subjunctive mood. Or if you wish, just think of it as an infinitive. It's the same form. Now, the subjunctive mood without that, which sounds more informal. So, if we compare, I suggest staying at home will be like a general suggestion, and I suggest she stay at home will be a suggestion for someone specific. And the contrast examples. Sometimes using one or another verb pattern changes completely the meaning of the verb. Let's have a look at the examples. I remembered to lock the door. I remembered means I didn't forget to do that. I actually did this action. I remembered locking the door. I have a memory of doing it, but I'm not quite sure whether I did it or not. So here we don't know whether the action was completed or not. Another example, I stopped smoking. It means that I quit the habit. I stopped smoking. I don't smoke anymore. And the second sentence, I stopped to smoke, means I stopped doing something else so I could smoke. These cases are more advanced, usually at B2 level, and I have another video that explains them in detail. Check it out in the description. Now, the summary. Let's quickly review. So, we use the verb plus to infinitive with these verbs: want to learn, need to do, and others. We use a verb plus a gerund with verbs of preference and some other verbs like enjoy reading, avoid talking, etc. Verb plus an object plus to or a bare infinitive goes with the verb help or let or make. Modal verbs always go with a bare infinitive: can swim, must finish, etc. Now, the construction adjective plus a preposition and a gerund, for example, interested in learning, they always go with a gerund. And the last thing is the verb suggest. It has two structures. Either you use it with a gerund, suggest staying, or you use it with a subjunctive mood, suggest she stay. Remember, you can download the free PDF of verb patterns from the description to help you study. Check the Spanish version if you prefer learning in Spanish, and take the level test if you are not sure about your level. If this video helped you, like, subscribe, and check my other lessons. See you next time!